Okay, the Fab King is here to bring you the annual Super Bowl preview. This is called the Super Bowl. We have two Zoltas. We have Z-Wolves, headed by Carlos and Sam. And we have Sanfred, I didn't write, and Son, it should just be maybe just and Son. Over here on this side, our reigning champ. Looking to repeat something that has never been done in LOEG history, trying to repeat this year. So let's get right down to it. First things first, I printed out the projections and the scoring preview. And don't be fooled by Carlos. It shows that he's projected to lose by 27. He conveniently put someone called Christian McCaffrey on his bench. Rashid White is on his bench. He could fool everybody. He cannot fool me. But he has the Washington Commanders up. So maybe he'll really leave them up. We're going to get to that. Who knows? Because Carlos could do anything. He doesn't really care about defense. Okay, here we go. Stroud is practicing today. So that's big news for Z-Wolves. And he's been tremendous the entire year. He was using Carr. Carr is playing at Tampa. It's not a great matchup at all. And Tampa was great last week. So hopefully he has Stroud. He's going up against Prescott. Prescott is playing Detroit. The over-under is 53.5 for that game. I'm going to give the edge to Prescott. But Stroud will help him. Again, the edge goes to Prescott. Now we have Christian McCaffrey. Let's talk about him for a moment. You see this 59% right here. We took a look, actually the Stooge took a look at the stats in Yahoo. And for the first time ever in Yahoo history, there is a player that is on over 50% of the teams in the finals. Never has it happened before. 59% of the finals have a team with McCaffrey in it. Again, has never been over 50. He's actually 59. So he's carrying not only Carlos, but the rest of the teams in the country and the world into the finals. You can see a 40% next to St. Brown, by the way, and that's the third highest of the year of teams that are in the finals having St. Brown, 40%. So let's go ahead and do this matchup. So you have ETN versus McCaffrey. The line is 13.5. He's playing at Washington, the worst defense in the world. This is not even a question, and I'm going to give two checks here. White has been amazing, and I wrote some stats down about White. First of all, McCaffrey has had at least 12 points in every single game the whole season, and White has had at least 10 points in the last 10 games, in each of the last 10 games. So Mostert has been great. He is questionable. I don't know what he's going to do. I'm going to give the edge to White. Even if Mostert plays at Baltimore, I would still give the edge to White because he's playing New Orleans. Now, he has an issue with Mostert. If he doesn't play, I don't have an answer for him right now on his team. Because he has Madison, who basically lost his job in Minnesota to Chandler. So you can't start him. He doesn't have any other running backs on the bench. The only other running back I would suggest he take if Mostert is out would be Khalil Herbert, who was last week 20 for 112 and a touchdown last week. I don't know if Foreman is out or not yet. He was out for personal reasons last week on Chicago. If he's out again, definitely take Herbert and use him here instead of Mostert if Mostert is out. If Mostert plays, leave it as is. Still, he gets the edges over here. Now let's go to receivers. CeeDee Lamb, St. Brown, both in the same game. Dallas, Detroit. I'm giving the edge to Lamb. He's been the best receiver the whole year. He's home. This is not a question. And he has the Prescott to Lamb combination. So Lescott, if you want to call it, or Pan, if you want to call it. But he does have the combo. Ridley versus Olave. I like Olave, but he's at Tampa versus Ridley at home against Carolina. I'm calling this even. Let's talk about Devontae Adams versus Lockett. Devontae Adams. So I took a look at this. I can't even believe the stats that I saw. In the last 12 games, only 2 of the last 12 games, Devontae Adams has gone over 10 points. And he has 2 touchdowns in the last 12 games. Obviously, in those games that he scored the touchdowns, those are the games that he's gone into double digits. It's only 2 of 12 games. You would think he would get it over Lockett. I'm not giving it to him over Lockett. If Lockett was playing an easier defense, I would have given it to him. I'm calling this a push because Pittsburgh is tough and Devontae's on the road. So I'm not, really can't give an edge to any of those right there. Let's go down to tight end. Ferguson's been great. He's playing in Detroit. Again, a high-scoring game. Schultz versus Tennessee, I like the pickup. He did have Kmet, and Kmet is questionable, so I do like that pickup. He actually led his team in receiving last week. Again, very tough. I'm going to give a slight edge to Ferguson, only because I do believe this is going to be a very high-scoring game. So I will give a slight edge there. This is a big deal. The flex position is a humongous deal in these finals. Pacheco has been awesome, but he is hurt. He has a concussion. I don't know if he's going to play. And Stafford has been great. I do have stats on Stafford. Stafford, in the last 5 weeks, is averaging over 20 points a game over the last 5 weeks. Totally on fire. His team is fighting for a playoff spot. They play the Giants, who are a mess at quarterback. They're going to kill them, I believe. And this is fantastic. If Pacheco is out, Stafford gets the edge. If Pacheco does not play, he does have Clyde Edwards-Helaire right here, who I would think he would put in. He does have choices. He has Edwards over here on Baltimore. I think he would go with Helaire, but this is a big problem. So I'm going to give the edge here. If it's Pacheco, it's slight, but it'd still be an edge to Stafford. But slight if it's Pacheco. If not, it's a much bigger edge. Tucker versus Myers, that's a good pickup, Myers, but Tucker versus Miami, I'm going to give it to Tucker. He missed 1 field goal the whole season. And here's where Carlos, in my opinion, if he loses, deserves the toilet bowl. You cannot not look at the schedule. You have to know that Dallas has impossible games. Last week you didn't use them. The week before they were negative. I have stats on Dallas. Here we go. Dallas Cowboys. Over the last 4 weeks, the Dallas Cowboys have a total of 8 points over the last 4 weeks. They were great the whole season. They played easy teams. The last few weeks were impossible games. He used them for negative points in the first round versus Tremendous. Still won because of 40 points. He needed at least over 20 from McCaffrey, and he got it to knock us out. But he had a negative defense. Dallas is playing Detroit. The over-under is 53.5. And I don't think he has a choice but to use him because he's got the Washington defense. Now, the Washington defense, even worse than Dallas. Over the past 4 weeks, they're -4. -4 over the last 4 weeks combined. There's no way in the world he's using them. He could try to fool us by putting them up. He's not starting Washington in the finals. So he'll have to go with Dallas. Let's talk about some pickups made last night by Sanfred. He took the Seahawks D last night versus Pittsburgh. Great pick. Definitely would have been taken by Carlos, by the way. Carlos did not even bother bidding on any defenses last night. The Chargers at Denver, also taken last night by Sanford. Russell Wilson is not playing for Denver. They're going to sit him the last 2 weeks. He would have had the Charger defense with Khalil Mack versus Denver. So I don't even know who their quarterback is. The Ravens is a defense that Sanford had the whole year. They were great. They're playing Miami, so he benched them. It's the right thing to do. I'm going to give the edge here, huge edge, the Rams at the Giants. The over-under is only 42 right here. So the teams are really set according to what I have here. I don't see many changes. I don't see many pickups. Only here for Herbert. That's the only one in case Mostert's out. And if we take a look and see what we got, you got 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, I gave 2 to McCaffrey. Very, very, very tough, by the way. Very hard to make a choice on who wins the championship. This is going to be 1,000,000 points for McCaffrey. So it's very, very tough. It's really very tough. If I had to pick, And really it's very hard. Because you have this combo here, right there. Prescott to Lamb, how many touchdowns could they throw for? How long are the touchdowns going to be? And you have him on his own right here. You have him. So there's really huge players. Both of these teams are great. They belong in the finals for sure. It's hard to make a decision. I'm going to have to go with, it's impossible to pick. And who knows if Pacheco's playing. So this is my my prediction. If Pacheco plays, I like the Z-Wolves. If Pacheco doesn't play, I'm going to have to go with Sanfred. So he's a huge piece of this whole puzzle right there. He plays at home versus Cincinnati. He's going to be over 20 points if he plays for sure. And that's really where it is. So that's my analysis. It's a Wednesday morning. A lot can happen over the next few days. I believe there are no Monday night games, so we'll have a winner by Sunday night. And again, not looking to be on the fence, but I don't know what's happening with him. So if he plays, I do like Z-Wolves. I think Stroud will play also. And if he doesn't play, I think we have a back-to-back champ. So my analysis is done. Good luck to both teams, and may the better team win. And Sammy wanted me to mention Toilet Bowl. While I have not analyzed all the teams the whole season, I've been really focused on one team, Z-Wolves. They dropped Sam Howell for Darnold, a move that you can't even understand. They don't even bother picking up a defense. So I said my piece on them, and that's it. Thanks to everyone for allowing me to do this preview, and let's have a great Super Bowl.